Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 5 of the AWRCS Series Reynlow Riders. For about 2 hours before this race, it absolutely downpoured, so this race is gonna be nasty. I've been doing this fun thing where I try to line up on the outermost portion of the line and then try to rip around on the outside here, and it's been going pretty well for me. I can get a pretty good starting position, but this week it didn't really end up that well for me because Sharkins goes down here on this little switchback and then I stall my bike. So we end up coming around the first turn at 16th, not bad, but we are probably up in the top 10. And we are already seeing the effects of what happens if you were to just take a little mini ocean and then dump it on the track before the race. But shout out Handguards and Handlebars here. I stole this off his YouTube, so hopefully he doesn't kill me. Not often do you get to see yourself riding from this angle, so this will be fun to watch. Alright, so we're done with that angle, maybe forever, because that angle seems pretty unlucky. Oh, and the track takes another victim. What is that, like 3 people already, myself included? You can see how we can quickly pass or change positions at least 60 times in this race. You know you're coming up to an interesting section when it sounds like the trail boss is still out there cutting down trees. We're feeling a little racy here, so we gotta take this alternate line. Oh, man, the rear end starts to slide, and that is it. We had no momentum to go over that log. So 2 crashes. We're not even a mile into this race yet. We've already got 2 crashes. And not only are they crashes, but they're early race crashes, which really sucks because then you just leave the door wide open for anyone to come through and pass you. And not only that, but now you got to get back into the rhythm, back into the flow of the race, and that is tough. Especially when you didn't even get in a flow to begin with. You just ate shit right off the bat. It's funny how you always think that you're in good shape until a mud race comes up, especially maybe like the first mud race of the year. I mean, this one wasn't, but it doesn't take too many crashes or even just off balances where you're just your tires spin. You end up going up the hill. Now you're having to do some crazy shoulder press ab workout to get the bike to straighten up. And these bikes aren't light. I mean, we're talking a good bar with 4 plates on it. I mean, these things are heavy. And I was getting really good advice from my dad before this race because he used to race. So he was giving me advice like, hey, you know, during mud races, make sure you stay in the main line. And it's because the alternate lines, they're all rough and you end up just smacking yourself in the face with branches. I obviously didn't listen to anything he told me. And I'm normally more coachable than that, so I apologize. But he was right at the end of the day. And, you know, maybe if you're a good rider, like a B class or up or something like that, you can hit those alternate lines and it's not going to screw you up. But obviously, for me, that's not an option. Oh, almost locked bars with a guy there. But as they say, hey, sometimes these things happen for a reason. I end up getting around McCarthy here, following this guy. We get some grip, and it's off to the races. I mean, look at this. Oh, why do I have to ruin it? But this is something that you don't see very often, so, I mean, I've never seen this. This is interesting. I mean, all of a sudden, 50 people are coming at us. Yeah, Skula and Klingman are going by us. They went around the first turn in first and second. So almost the whole entire class is there to the left of us. We go into this little section in 18th, pop out in 11th. So let's go. I mean, this is incredible. Whoever took a wrong turn, and they took a wrong turn a while ago for 18 people to get shuffled up in there. So whoever did that, come get this lovin'. I owe you one. So now we have a little issue where what happens when we take all of the faster, kind of maybe more technically skilled in the mud riders and we put them behind all of the riders who have crashed, say, like me, 2 to 7 times already this race. I got the answer for you. It's a bottleneck. And this is the type of thing that, like, as a racer, I wish all the spectators were able to see. But I feel like this was, you know, this is like 3 miles into the race, and that's when it's kind of just far enough away from the pit sections where, you know, not a whole lot of the crowd likes to go. And this is probably one of those situations where this section wasn't actually that bad, but because there was an absolute monsoon that happened an hour before the race, it just became a section that was ugly. I mean, look at that carnage. All right, here we go. Let's watch Kuhn here in 12th in the white. He's going to take a run at this hill. Is he going to make it? Didn't make it. Man. This hill is absolutely gnarly. The GoPro is not showing it. It looks flat. I mean, it looks like we should not be struggling like this. But you're about to see it is going to get real for Jaswale. Jaswale is right there in the pink. According to Google Translate, it's Jaswale. It was a hard name to pronounce, but... At this moment, I should have just gotten off the bike and just walked it. That would have been the best strategy, because I think I could have got down on my hands and knees and crawled this thing through this section faster than whatever this slipping and sliding is. And it's just frustrating because you want to build up momentum, but you just can't. Your back wheel spins, and then you have to do a core workout to stabilize the bike, and it's just chaos. Then you get in sections like this where you're stuck in a main rut, and I was not smart enough to take the middle road here. I was so tired at this point, I chose a rut and sat in it. And I do this thing during races where I sit there and make deals with myself, and I'm like, oh, well, I have to sit in this rut, so probably everyone else in my class has to sit in this rut too. And that's not how that works. You know, thinking back on it, this is actually the craziest race I've ever been a part of. I mean, think about what we've seen up to this point. We've had a complete turnaround, a complete shuffle up of the field, where we had me, who is in the back of the pack, C-Class, had the number 1 and 2 guy riding right towards me. I mean, that is a complete shuffle up. To then, half a mile later, we get into another big bottleneck. Now we're stacked up on top of each other. I mean, we just passed Baker for 14th. We're passing for 13th here. We're behind 12th right now. I mean, this is really good racing. And to be honest with you, I was confused the whole time. I had no idea what was going on. I mean, let's take this for example, right? Here we have McNanny, right? He's taken this right. I don't know where this trail goes back into the track. I don't see where anybody could possibly, like right there, but it was roped off. So, I mean, we got a free position there. I feel bad for McNanny, but it was just a confusing time. I was flustered. And to be clear, I'm not putting this on the AWRCS staff. I mean, I absolutely love the AWRCS tracks. They're mostly single tracks, so it's tight and technical and fun. And I was just being an idiot this race. So not on the AWRCS guys. I love you all. So now we finally make it to an open field section where we can try to get some mud off the tires. Jaswale has gotten back up, so time for a little open field battle, baby. This was so much fun. I felt like an F1 driver going through this. Now, granted, this is C-Class, right? So we're going, what, maybe 20 miles an hour at that, but I felt like an F1 driver trying to apex these turns, like he was really driving it, trying to hit that berm and get some speed on the outside. I was trying to cut it and cross over on the inside, try to get enough traction to beat him to the next turn, but oh man, it's just so slippy. I just couldn't get any traction. Luckily, he really blew by that one, so we were able to cut in. Throw up the deuces like Tyreek, baby. Come on. Now we're coming to this weird off-camber muddy section. I mean, obviously the whole track is muddy, but this off-cambered had a lot of roots sticking out, which, you know, roots in general are tough to ride over, especially when they're off-cambered. But then you throw some of Mother Nature's ground lube on them, and they'd become impossible to ride over. Just slippy, just want to send you down the hill. Don't get me wrong, I understand the general concepts of like riding on routes off cambered, and that's you want to stay high and keep your balance, right? Well, I end up turning my handlebars to the left, and that's exactly where I went, straight down the hill to the left. And by the way, if you think riding on an off-cambered, muddy, rooted hill is hard, try picking up a 240-pound dirt bike on that hill that just wants to crush you. Oh, look at that maximum airflow I've got going on there. I really need new plastics. Look how floppy that is. The integrity has really gone away. And you may ask, why am I still running old, degenerating plastics? Well, the answer is because I crash a lot and I'm a cheapskate. So why get new plastics now? Oh! Grab the oh shit tree. All right, there you go. You know, the oh shit handle, but it's the oh shit tree. And I think it's important to show every crash. That way it's kind of like a realistic thing, you know? I mean, listen, I'm still young in this whole, like, racing career thing. I mean, this is halfway through my second season, so pretty young yet. And so, I don't know, like, maybe I'll turn out to be, like, really good and I end up going to, like, B class or something, and you're sitting there watching the video going, like, oh, man, how is he going so fast and, like, not making any mistakes and being so smooth and beautiful with it? And I refuse to show you that disinformation. I'm gonna give you the real stuff. I'm gonna show you every crash, no matter how embarrassing. I promise. So we're in 14th here, settling in behind Pirati, getting a little open field section here. Give you a little time to try to get the mud off your tires, but the open field sections, when they make you dive into the dark woods like this, and you kind of have to like pray that there's not a root or a rock that's just ready to absolutely smack your nuts off the handlebars, because the GoPro does pretty good at shifting the darkness, but my eyes can't, so that's always the danger. But it looks like we've caught up to McNanny and Klingman here. Let me know if you like the colored arrows or not. I think I like the white ones, but I'll leave we'll just call it manufacturer colors. Like if you're McNanny here and you're riding a KTM, you can get the orange, and if you're Klingman and you're riding a Yamaha, we'll give you the blue. But we're coming up to a bridge section here with a slick uphill to it. Oh, man, I tell you what. Bridges are the ultimate C-class enemy, and if you throw some mud on it, you're just asking for a bottleneck. How do I know this? Because this is an open field, and I shouldn't be doing things like this. What is that? What is that? Pirati's gonna make his way around us. I'm gonna struggle to get out of this thing. Not once when I'm racing does this thing ever hit the rev limiter, so it'd be nice to go fast enough when that thing hits the rev limiter, but whoa! Oh! Got some grip there at the end and almost took off like one of Elon's rockets. So after a little bit of time, we've collected ourselves, getting around Pirati here. Found McNanny, see if we can't settle in here and finally pass him. I wish the camera angle was a little better, but we're halfway through the first lap and I'm dog tired, so I'm sitting down the whole time, which means we don't get as good of an angle. And I'm working on it, you know, the fitness, I'm working hard in the fitness section so that I can do a full 2 hours standing, get the best angle possible. Oh, we're getting a chance to get around McNanny here, come on. Alright, time to try and get a little separation. But the poor angle, you're really missing out on how dynamic this track is with how much standing water there is mixed with the rocks and the roots. I mean, this is just a classic East Coast nasty race. A good trainer for Snowshoe, maybe, if you're a GNCC fan out there. So obviously hindsight's 20/20, but I start getting into like a follow mode here, not even realizing that there's a hill climb to the left. I mean, it might be lucky, because if you look underneath the 12, you'll see a guy up there. So maybe it was lucky and we missed the bottleneck, but I started playing follow mode and started following this guy through the tight trees here, and it is one lane, one rut. You know, the worst part about ruts like that, it's not even that they suck or that they cause you physical harm by smacking your nuts onto the seat. No, it's none of that. It's you don't want to be the cause of the next bottleneck. And where I'm at in life, I could be the next cause of the bottleneck. Case in point, I'm kissing a tree here. So as I get wiggled out, I get passed by Caden Klingman, or who at least I think is Caden Klingman. I'm not 100% confident, so I'm not going to put it up on screen. But shout out Caden if you did pass me there. I am confident, however, that this is Hayden Kuhn. Last time we saw Hayden Kuhn, he was trying to go up that slopey uphill that everyone was getting stuck on, but he ended up getting past us here towards the tail end of the first lap. We probably have about another half mile left to go. The GoPro gets about an hour and a half worth of footage, so normally it's good for about 2.5 laps, maybe 3 if we're feeling a little speedy. But when it rains out and I'm riding horribly, we're doing 1 hour laps. I don't know what happens here. I hit this rut and for some reason my boot gets like caught up in my plastics somehow. I don't know. It confused me at the time. It was embarrassing. But here we are wrapping up the first lap. We're getting around McNandy, so we're actually going to finish this lap in 13th after giving it away and taking it back and giving it away for what feels like forever. We come around the first lap in 13th, and it's only up from there. I finished the second lap in 8th, ended up finishing the race with 3 laps, finishing in 7th place. First lap, we got it done in 58 minutes. The second lap, we got it done in 53 minutes, and the third lap, we got it done in 52 minutes. So it's either I got faster as the day went on, or the track got better. You can make your own decision, but for my own personal confidence, I'll say I got better. But that does it for this video. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching this far. I greatly appreciate it, and hopefully I can get you to come back for another video. My season only got better from here, and I look forward to sharing it with you guys. I almost forgot, but here's the piece of hardware